I am begging you to make a silly little video. Has anyone else been getting the feeling recently that social media might be outliving its usefulness and might be becoming one of the biggest threats to our society due to the most popular sites breeding anti-intellectualism while sinking further and further into the pockets of the ruling class who then profit off of our inactivity? And even if I've always felt mixed on social media, I can't seem to remember life before it, and that makes me scared of losing it. But at the same time, I'm facing the materialization of 10 years worth of time spent on Instagram, which is opening my eyes to the imminent threat of a life spent entirely online. Or is it just me? If you don't know me, I'm Abe. I'm 23 years old. I've been on social media for about a decade now. I saved up for and bought a used iPod Touch when I was 11. I've been on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter since I was about 13. I was on Tumblr and Vine religiously in middle school, and Snapchat throughout high school. What's weird to me is that I always knew that this stuff was bad for me. I always felt guilty about my screen time, particularly from social media. There were undoubtedly entire days of my youth where I did nothing but that awful cycle of scrolling Instagram, getting bored, scrolling Twitter, getting bored, opening TikTok and getting bored 4 hours later, and then at that point, I haven't checked my Instagram in a while, so I should probably see what's up. And I hated myself for it the entire time, but I kept doing it because those dopamine receptors were so fried. They still are fried, honestly. I'm working on that. I'm still actively working on unfrying my dopamine receptors. And it's been 10 years. And the way I justified this, I'm sweaty, sorry. The way I justified all this to myself was, I'm young. My priorities are gonna change as I get older. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna get better at it. Also in my mind was, social media is not going to be a thing forever. Look at MySpace. Things come and go. Facebook is on its way out. Blah, blah, blah. But now it's 10 years of me being on social media. And sure, Yik Yak and Vine have gone the way of the dodo. But Instagram is just as big, if not 10 times bigger. And things like Facebook. 5 years ago, I would have told you no one uses it. When Elon bought Twitter, everyone thought that was going to crash and burn to the ground instantly. But the problem is, they figured it out. They have utterly perfected this formula of making money off of us. They've gotten so efficient at it that they figured out how to make money off of us doing nothing. Social media has always had issues, of course. Nobody would deny that. But it feels scarier to me now than it ever has because guys like Musk and Zuck, they don't need your money. Therefore, they must need you to do nothing. It's not just a matter anymore of social media is bad for your mental health. It is becoming a matter of social media is being run by the government. You know how we used to joke about the FBI agent who watches you through your laptop camera? People on the menstrual cycle are deleting their period tracking apps due to the risk of their lives and or livelihood from the potential of data mining. I saw a post from a trans man I follow who was saying that if he saw anyone posting info on DIY hormone therapy, that he would block them because it's too damn risky. You know, all the George Floyd era infographics and the utterly tasteless Breonna Taylor memes that plagued the internet a few years ago? Nowadays, if I see someone organizing a protest on Instagram, I hesitate. My first instinct is to hesitate because what if it's a trap? It sounds conspiracy theory-esque, but let me ask you this. Would you put it past them? Would you put it past them? Okay, So I know what you're thinking. What does this have to do with making a silly little YouTube video? Well, you may have noticed that in my previous rant about social media that I did not once mention the website. Is that because I think YouTube is this pristine little untarnished corner of the internet? Kind of, yeah, actually. Of course, YouTube has its problems. No one in their right mind would ever deny that. Have I wasted countless hours on the app? Yes. Was I traumatized by robot chicken clips and old college humor videos? Absolutely. Has it made me compare myself to others in an unhealthy way? 100%. Has it made me feel worthless? Yes. It's a social media, bro. But no other social media has taught me more, and no other, my cat's snoring. I don't know if you can hear that. No other social media has taught me more, and no other social media has made me feel more connected to people. I'll illustrate this with two of my earliest YouTube memories. If you're older and watching this, is it weird to hear someone talk about their rudimentary childhood memories and be like, yeah, a YouTube video? Is that, anyways, I still remember being a kid and, wait, let me check that I'm recording. Yeah, we're good. We good. As a kid who was properly obsessed with Star Wars, I remember the excitement I felt when I discovered there's a website where all I have to do is type Star Wars, and I discover that there are thousands of people out there who like the same thing that I like, and they are equally compelled to create by it. Grocery Store Wars is something I still reference to this day and actively influences my art, straight up. A fan-made Lego music video for Weird Al's Yoda inspired me to write a whole ass book about Dagobah and Yoda and send it to Weird Al's fan mailbox. That is a true story. Maybe this is actually becoming more about how Weird Al actually taught me everything I know, but hear me out, because this is the second story, and it also involves Weird Al. I vividly remember, as a kid, hearing my parents use the word similar in a sentence, and I asked them what the word meant. I'm sure that they explained it to me, but what really stands out to me is the visual aid that my dad gave me. He walked me up to, wait for it, the computer room. Just an empty room with a desk in it. No, it wasn't actually that. And he oh my god, do I have to wait for the leaf blower to stop to keep making this? Is that what's happening right now? Oh, maybe I'll edit. Maybe I'll edit I adjusted the camera. I hope that doesn't ruin the entire video for you. Anyways, where were we? Right, the computer room. So my dad pulls up YouTube, and this is like 2008. Okay, Michael Jackson is alive. Wait, that's relevant. I'm getting ahead of myself. So he pulls up YouTube and he says, "This is a music video called Beat It by a guy named Michael Jackson." And I watched the video and I was like, cool video, Dad. And then he said, "Here's a music video called Eat It by a guy named Weird Al." And we watched that video, and I said, "Father, I was a fundamentally different person before you showed me this." And my parents could have just explained the word to me. That would have been completely fine. I would have learned it. But instead, I had this moment where I'm absorbing probably my first music video ever. I'm learning about a black artist. I'm hearing an amazing guitar solo. I'm seeing amazing choreography. I'm learning what a parody is. I'm laughing at the jokes. I'm discovering my sense of humor. And I also learned what the word similar meant. All that learning and exposure to culture, plus a phenomenal memory I get to keep forever, which I can now share with you on the exact same platform. When I got my iPod Touch, that was probably what we'll call the dark ages of my YouTube consumption. Now, all of a sudden, the restrictions are almost non-existent, and we're right in the middle of the BuzzFeed Watch Mojo era of YouTube. So, Of course I am staying up till 3 a.m. every night. I need to know what the top 10 Lay's potato chip flavors are. Of course I'm gonna watch another PewDiePie Happy Wheels compilation. The last one was so funny. I know that this may sound like a coping mechanism, but I feel pretty strongly that I was still learning a lot then too. I mean, for one, I was learning how to not watch YouTube videos. And maybe that's just a testament to the overall sponginess of the brains of youths. But I still feel like I was learning more from YouTube than I was from Musically. After I would waste 3 hours watching Anthony Fantano talk about albums I'd never heard of before, I would use the exact same app to go find those albums and listen to them all the way through. Was I insufferable? Maybe. Was I probably insufferable when I was watching Filthy Frank videos? Undoubtedly. I was still learning that I had a taste for subversive comedy. Hear me out. Hear me out. Tell me I'm wrong. Even the worst stuff I was watching, even Watch Mojo's back catalog of ultimately worthless content, I was still hearing about movies and directors I'd never heard of before. I never would have discovered a masterpiece like Blue is the Warmest Color if it hadn't. Ay. Even JonTron's racist ass was teaching me about video game culture before I'd ever even touched an Xbox. Looking back, do I wish I'd spent less time watching H3H3 videos? Yeah, yes, 100%. But at the same time, I could have been a Jake Paul fanboy, and now I don't fuck with either of them. I grew and I learned. All's well that ends well. Don't doubt your capability to grow as a person. And I think there was definitely a shift at some point where I switched from subconsciously learning through my entertainment to actively seeking out education as entertainment. So I found myself watching less honest trailers, more Sideways, less CinemaSins, more Every Frame a Painting. And suddenly this thing is happening where I feel like I'm a kid again. And that excitement is there. The excitement of knowing that anything I want to learn about is right here. And there are people who are interested in the same stuff that I am. And they can teach me a lot about it. Now I know the what, the where, the who. Now I want to know the why and the how. Why does this music make me feel so much? How did John Williams do that? Or how did they get this shot? Why did they choose to film it that way? I'm using film examples because that's my interest. But you see how it applies to other stuff, right? Let me know. Thanks. I don't even have to be bored while I'm learning. It's kind of like college. YouTube should have made college obsolete. Apart from learning about my craft as an artist, I was also learning about myself. Becoming emotionally intelligent practically against my will. This might sound silly, but y'all are doing a wonderful job of hearing me out, so I will continue to capitalize on that. Jenny Nicholson taught me that it is super, super cool and nourishing to deeply analyze that dumb little cartoon you still like from when you were a kid that all your friends have grown out of. It feels awesome to do it. Joel Haver made me realize that the only thing standing in between me and the art I want to create is myself. And ContraPoints taught me that I hadn't fully met every aspect of myself yet. Okay, I hear you. Where is this going? Why am I dooming and glooming on social media but advocating for YouTube? Because everything I just described to you is a form of resistance. They don't want you to sit and learn about the joy of making art, because making art for the sake of joy is not profitable. They don't want you to meet like-minded people, because like-minded people organize. They don't want you to sympathize with people who are different from you, because our unity is a threat to their existence. and they don't want you to learn about yourself because they need to be the ones to tell you who you are and what you're capable of. And I know that YouTube in theory is exactly the same as Facebook and Instagram. You could theoretically learn just as much, connect just as deeply with people on TikTok. Maybe YouTube is just my favorite, therefore I've gotten the most out of it. But y'all, I don't feel safe on Instagram anymore. I know for a fact I'm not safe on Twitter. Also, I don't feel connected to people through these apps anymore because that is no longer the point. Social media as we knew it doesn't exist, and we need to start calling these things what they really are. Media hubs. Abe, are you a stupid little hypocrite? What are you talking about? Calling Facebook an entertainment hub and then advocating YouTube is insane. Isn't YouTube one of the most obvious examples of an entertainment hub? Yeah, that is true. But only if you treat it that way. I know this is probably sounding all kinds of biased, but please hear me out. This is my first big talking video, so if all of this sounds asinine to you, please leave me a constructive and respectful comment. Thank you. Please allow me to explain to you what my YouTube feed has been looking like recently. The more I've engaged with the smaller channels that show up on my algorithm, the more they've been showing up on my feed. If I see a video on my algorithm with less than 1,000 views, I'm either watching it or I'm adding it to the watch later. It's like, oh, a little hidden gem just found its way to me? Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. And then maybe I click on it and I see someone talking into a camera with horrible lighting and sound quality. And maybe that video genuinely resonates with me. And now I'm looking at my own videos with terrible sound and lighting and less than 1,000 views, and I realize that views and likes can't quantify how special my one video might have been to one solitary person out there. And that really lights a fire under my ass. Because what if there's one person? What if there's one person who loves my videos? If I'm a huge YouTuber and I suddenly stop making videos, at least my fans have each other to go through that with. But if I'm only making videos for one person, how could I abandon my one fan? That's forsaking the community that I'm theoretically trying to build. Why would I punish someone for thinking that they're on the ground floor of something really cool and exciting? My channel is not big. I gained a staggering amount of followers after I posted my Joker video. I mean, I went from under 60 to over 3,000 in the course of like 3 days. It was insane. And I'm so grateful for that. Period. But I learned very quickly that it wasn't going to translate into consistent viewership. It was more of a flash in the pan. And that's fine, it's a learning experience. As it is now, my videos pull on an average anywhere from 70 to 500 views. It's really inconsistent. With the occasional jump up to 1,000, which is awesome. Has my viewer count bothered me in the past? Yes, absolutely. I hate when I think I have a great idea and then I do it and I have to sit there and wonder if I did a bad job executing it or if it was just a bad idea in the first place. That moment of like, does nobody think the way I do? But the more I fall in love with these smaller channels that are showing up on my feed, the more I start to realize I might be somebody's hidden gem. Maybe a complete stranger out there feels that much closer to me because they know that their one word of encouragement in my comments was the only one I got that day, which then inspired me to go say something nice about somebody else's video. Dude, community. There's this one person who is a stranger to me IRL, but they comment on almost every single video I make. And what's really cool is that I get to take this opportunity right now to speak directly to you, because I know that you're watching this right now. I hope you know that I actively look forward to your comments while I'm in the process of making the video, before I've even put it out. And I know for a fact that my work has inspired you to create because you've told me. Do you have any idea how special that is? Bestie, we're literally making the world a better place. All of this is to say that YouTube is one of the only online spaces that has been actually making me feel hopeful recently. And it's been because I'm trying to treat it more like a social media than a damn streaming service. I want to be very clear. Nobody is trying to take away your meal entertainment. I know a lot of people who would starve. I know entire families who would starve without Good Mythical Morning. I'm not even saying that you have to make videos. If your enjoyment of YouTube begins and ends with watching the videos, that is wonderful. A performance of a play with no audience is just a rehearsal. But if I can inspire anything with this video, I would just hope that you're maybe just a tiny bit more open to the idea. Again, you don't have to make videos. I'm not saying you have to make videos, but like, what I'm saying is don't close yourself off to the idea of making a terrible video or any video. And for those of you who do want to make videos, I want you to know that it doesn't have to be anything. Fuck perfect. It doesn't have to be cohesive, brother. It is so freeing to make videos for the people who actually follow you than that huge imaginary audience that seems to always demand perfection from you. Be honest. Is that audience in the room with you right now? So this video is probably way too long, and I smell so bad right now. I need to shower expeditiously. You can probably smell my armpits through the video right now. But I just wanted to end this video with 2 lists. The first list is a list of awesome things that you can watch on YouTube right now. Those things are music videos, full albums, audiobooks, short films and feature films made by world-renowned directors, short films and feature films made by lesser-known directors, short and feature films made by a bunch of high schoolers in a garage, full performances of plays, legal ones, and slime tutorials, documentaries, so many documentaries. It could be Ken Burns, it could be Down the Rabbit Hole, tutorials on how to do anything, mindless entertainment, mindful entertainment, a video you agree with, a video you disagree with, a video your friend made, a video you made, a compilation of your favorite sounds, a video that makes you laugh, a video that makes you scared, a video that takes you back, and all the videos on this channel. Second list is a list of awesome things that you can make on YouTube right now. A cover of a song, an original song, an album of original songs, a dance you learned, a dance you created, a reading of a poem you wrote, showing off a cool skill you have, a list of things, a skit, a rant, a video essay, tell the story of your life, tell the story of your dog's life, a short film, a feature film, a recreation of your favorite movie scene, a recreation of your favorite movie, an inside joke that only your friends will understand, a video only you will understand, a video that you won't understand until someone else does. I do not guarantee you virality with these videos. In fact, it might guarantee you the opposite, actually, but that doesn't mean that they are unsuccessful. One of the last videos that I made was an a cappella cover of the Vicar of Dibley theme song. It has 7 likes. If I shift my mindset Ah, 7 likes? You're telling me at least 7 people out there thought that dumb shit was worth their time and their engagement? Also, I got a video out that week. I could have not done that. I reduced the nothingness in the world by 48 seconds. I see this as an absolute win. And sitting here writing this and talking about it being a win is only making it feel more and more like a win. Hell yes, dude. Hell yeah, 7 likes. YouTube can be a place for learning, entertainment, self-expression, and community. I know it can because I see it happening and it makes me so excited. Like I said, forms of resistance. Now, these aren't the only ones. You need to boycott and you need to organize and you need to go to protests. But at this point, every little bit counts. Guys, at this point, posting your god-awful pretentious student film is a way of saying our culture will not be homogenized nor gentrified. And that message needs to start getting a lot louder because, guys, we are getting so fucking worn down. If I might speak to my fellow Americans directly for a second, guys, I don't know if you checked the news recently, but we kind of have a convicted felon making choices about our lives and our bodies and speaking for us as an entire country right now. We would be the laughing stock of the world if we weren't so goddamn dangerous. Where is the fire under your ass? Oh, fuck. Spilled my coffee fucking everywhere when I did that, but it's to prove a point. Basically, YouTube can be a really good tool against fascism, and all other social media is being run by fascists. Thank you. Keep watching videos. Watch Rhett and Link. Watch Khadija Mbowe. Watch Stampy Cat. Make stupid little videos that no one will ever see. Make an awful video and then move right on to making a better one. Subscribe to smaller channels and let them know you're there. Be the one fan. Be the hidden gem. Thank you so much for being here. I pinched my hand. And I have no more coffee. And the world is smoldering in fascism.